This is a video response to a request by ONESPECIES who invited people to express their opinions about what free speech means to them in his I Am Me Month video a few days back. My understanding is that he wanted people, specifically people in the atheist and free-thinking community, to describe what free speech means to them. And it seems as though, in particular, he invited people to describe what they felt were threats to this cherished right. Before I begin, I also want to thank Time of Wonder 2009, aka Finders, for encouraging me to participate in this set of video responses. I want to note that in addition to the video that ONESPECIES offered as his challenge, he also offered his own contribution to the I Am Me Month. And it was really an exceptional video because he pointed out that while atheists tend to emphasize, or some atheists tend to emphasize, the threats posed to free speech by Islamic extremism, that they often overlook other clear and present dangers as far as free speech goes. And he mentions a couple. One is the kind of corporate bullying that leads to the suppression of media coverage of important issues such as the BP oil spill. And he also mentions the chilling effect that governments, for example, the U.S. government has had by silencing potential whistleblowers by mistreating such people as Bradley Manning, who is awaiting trial and charges having to do with the WikiLeaks disclosures. There's one comment that ONESPECIES made in one or the other video, I'm not sure, that I really took to heart, and I'll try to quote it here. And he said, "The greatest threats to free speech may come under the guise of familiarity and pass undetected." And I think that has really motivated me to try to offer what I see as troubling developments with regard to free speech that really aren't discussed openly, or not openly, but aren't discussed frequently on YouTube. And that really is the threat to free speech posed by the atheist community itself, or free thinkers, in the way that many people go about conducting the conversation or discussion over matters that they disagree. Along these lines, I'd like to offer my own variation of Godwin's law as a way of explanation. And it goes as follows: even the mildest disagreement between you two disputants will deteriorate so rapidly that the odds of one party calling the other a steaming sack of human excrement approaches 100% within a matter of one or two video exchanges. I don't think that free thinkers or atheists are alone with regard to this deterioration of civility in YouTube exchanges. It just happens to be the community that I'm most familiar with. And I also have to say that my expectations about the free-thinking community in terms of reliance on reasoned argument and dispassionate expression of opinion is probably greater than my expectations about other communities on YouTube too. So I think that's probably why they're getting singled out for me in this video. Also, it's what ONESPECIES actually asked for us to comment on. I want to be clear, and that is that I'm not easily offended, and I actually am not so much offended. I'm not offended by these words. I actually think that that in a theatrical and a rhetorical way, insults and invective can be used to heighten the impact of videos. And there are people who do it really very well on YouTube. And the thing that's interesting about it is that they typically use it selectively. What's really bothering me about the trajectory that the level of discourse on YouTube has taken is that it seems now that almost every video, well, that's an overstatement, but a large number of videos begin with statements of rage, and there's a boilerplate level of insult that seems to be required as an introduction or as a conclusion. It doesn't really add to the arguments very much. Some of it, I'm sure, is heartfelt. Some of it, I think, is part of a kind of shtick that's developed, and that is that there's a cookie cutter model of ponage and of trouncing one's enemies that people have bought into. Another way of saying this is that it's almost as though many videos, if not most videos, that are arguments aspire to be ponage videos. And again, I really enjoy ponage videos, but I don't want every video I watch to be an attempt at ponage. And look, this is not an attempt to say that people are entitled to use insult or entitled to try to pwn their opponents. I'm just saying that it's not very effective. And I think lack of efficacy certainly is a challenge to the open exchange of ideas, because if people tune you out, then the ideas really aren't getting communicated very effectively. I want to say what I find most troubling about this in terms of its chilling effect on the free exchange of idea, not so much a challenge to the right of free speech, but the chilling effect on the free exchange of ideas. And that is that I imagine that there is a vast number of people who are sitting on the sidelines who want to participate in these debates. And they don't necessarily have the thickest of skins. And they are deterred, perhaps irrevocably, from participating in YouTube and putting up their own videos, because they feel as though the level of disagreement and the level of invective that will be directed to them is so enormous that it's just scary. And I'm not trying to say that people shouldn't have courage in order to post YouTube videos, but I don't think that there's much of a safe area that we provide for disagreement. And I'm not sure that that's actually recoverable. I think that it just may be the nature of the medium, and it's graduated into a kind of shit-slinging battle that is really going to be more or less par for the course. But I do think we need to realize that part of encouraging free expression is allowing room for civil disagreement and inviting people who aren't necessarily ponage warriors into the discussion. And I think that the direction that things are going in is actually quite contrary to that. I think that we are foreclosing expression, and I think we will make it difficult for people of lesser emotional fortitude to come to the fore and express their opinions. Anyway, I hope that this addresses one species question. It really is an I am me sort of concern, because I know that when I started posting YouTube videos only a couple of months ago, one of the things I realized I had to steel myself for was significant levels of irrational disagreement, and particular name-calling as opposed to reason argument. I've tried to keep my presentations almost exclusively analytical, because I really want to conduct the discussion in that realm. Although I must admit, sometimes it's difficult not to get emotional given the way people respond. Anyway, that's my contribution. Thank you again, Finders, for encouraging me. Thank you, One Species, for creating this opportunity for this type of discussion. And I will close by saying that when it comes to promoting free speech, and that means more than the protection of the right, but the encouragement of people to participate in an open exchange of ideas, that we are all in this together. Thank you.